that district had had an increasing Latino population, but obviously, because we were entitled to a 5th district, we couldn't keep the exact boundaries as they were. It would have been overpopulated, and had we left the district in that way, it would have violated the one person, one vote principle. And this is the thing, when you're drawing districts, it's really easy for people to criticize. But in the real world, you're trying to balance a lot of different things. Right? You want to make sure that you're not violating the Voting Rights Act, of course. On the other hand, you can't take too much consideration of race, or else you're going to violate the Shaw versus Reno cases. You have to take one person, one vote into consideration, and there's still this possibility of partisan gerrymandering claims. So look, we were doing the best we could, consistent with our understanding of the law, to draw fair districts.
Okay. And one thing, just to clear up, you told Rachel that you weren't sure about your forthcoming political plans in 2012, but my understanding is it's pretty much an open secret in the capital city that you have ambitions of running for one of these congressional seats. Is that
well,
a fair statement?
I can't say what other people know, but so I can't comment on other people's knowledge. But what I can say is that it's something that I've given some thought to. Yeah.
And if you were to run for a seat, what district do you think you would run?
Well, I live in. Let me just look at the map because I don't remember the numbers in our plan. It'll be what's the 3rd district? So it's the one in the capital city area.
Do you think you have a primary challenger in that?
I can't speculate on that.
I mean, you're the majority leader of the Senate. So certainly you'd have some idea.
I can't speculate. I mean, I hear the same rumors that you've probably heard, but I don't know for sure who's going to run. And if somebody thought I was running and were planning to run against me, the last thing they'd want to do is make that public. So I can't speculate on who might run and who's not going to run. Let me go to Brian and then Lindsay.
Okay. So how did you become the majority leader of the Senate?
Well, I think, I was a really good money raiser. That's basically how you gain power in the legislature, right? I don't think that's a great secret. I'm good at raising money, and was able to raise a lot of money for the party. And when you're able to raise money for the party and for candidates who are of like mind, that's power in politics, right? So I was able to raise a lot of money and to help out my colleagues when they needed helping out, not just in terms of campaign funds, but giving fair consideration to their own bills and doing my best to persuade other people to support bills they liked. It's politicking, and but the ability to raise money, I don't think it's any great secret in this state as in so many others, helps a lot.
So in a short span of time, you've done pretty well for yourself. You've gone from a House member to a Senate member of the state, now the majority member. Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of my accomplishments in the legislature. Yeah, and hey, look, it's a quick rise to the top, generally speaking, because of term limits, right? So.
Kind of remind me of another former senator, now President Barack Obama. You seem to be following the same path.
Yeah. But I don't compare myself to President Obama.
But you've been in public office now for 14 years, 12 years. So you've been there.
I think longer than Barack Obama. Isn't
Yeah.
that right? Yeah.
So I mean, you've seen like you've gained lots of influence and prominence. So I can't imagine. Do you see yourself leaving public life after this year?
I want to keep all my options open. So I mean, as in response to one of the previous questions, yeah. I mean, I've certainly considered the possibility of running for Congress. That's something I may do, but no definite decision has been made as yet.
And so, but you have to be considering it. The 2012 is coming up. It's almost over. The time for deciding to.
Yeah, if I'm going to do it, I have to make a decision pretty quickly. You're right about that. But I'm a procrastinator, so there you go. And then Lindsay.
Just to follow up a little bit with that, you stated earlier that you live in the 3rd congressional district, right?
Yeah.
And you have to run in the 3rd congressional district because that's where you live?
Right, yeah.
And you've maxed out, or termed out, your limit in the state and the House Senate.
Yeah.
Here.
That's correct.
So it looks like your next step would be running for a congressional district.
Could be.
Yeah, definitely. I think that that'd be a great option.
Well, I didn't say definitely.
Oh, I
You
think
said that.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great option for you. You also said that you aren't really aware of anyone else who'd be running against you. You wouldn't want to speculate, correct?
I mean, I can't say for sure who's going to be.
Yeah, definitely. You can't say, but you are the House Majority Leader, right?
Now I'm the Senate Majority
Senate,
Leader.
I apologize, Senate Majority Leader, and as Brian stated, you have, quite a lot of power and influence.
I mean, I think that a Senate Majority Leader always has a lot of influence.
And
Yeah.
are Senate Majority Leaders generally well informed?
I think I'm well informed. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you would know then that Ramirez, the mayor of Capital City, stated publicly his intention to run for congressional district 3 then.
I don't know if I knew that he publicly stated it, but I've certainly heard his name bandied about as somebody who might be running. Yeah.
Right,
I haven't
now-
talked to him about it directly though.
Now that you do know that he's publicly stated it, and you had.
Well, I'm taking your word for it. I'm not testifying that that's a fact.
I
But
would
okay, so assuming that that's the case, right?
Assuming that that's the case, are you well aware that Ramirez is a very popular Latino in Capital City?
I wouldn't disagree with that characterization.
And are you aware of the fact that you'd be running against him in the primary if you did choose to run?
If he runs and I run, then yes, we would be running against each other.
And based on a lot of the information, the expert testimony by Ingram, it looks like under the benchmark plan, he would beat you.
I can't comment on Engstrom's testimony. I mean, I briefly read his declaration, but I don't know if he ran a specific analysis of that. I can't recall, but so I don't know. And elections aren't over until people actually run and until voters actually vote and all the votes are counted. So I wouldn't want to speculate as to what the results would be if we ran against each other.
And I wouldn't want you to speculate. I just wanted to know if it was in your mind the fact that, you are a great politician, so I would think that you'd be thinking about these things, and these things kind of look bad for you. With the fact that you had so much control over the districting.
I'm sorry. What's the question?
The question is, with all of this stuff obviously in your mind, the fact that Ramirez could run and the possibilities, and you looking forward in your political career, are you aware of the fact that it could look very bad for you, the fact that you had control over the districting, and you changed this districting in a way that looks like it would help you?
I can't speak to what's in other people's minds, right? If I don't think I did anything wrong, but people can make their own judgments.
All right, I think I'm good.
Okay, so
I'm going to switch to a different line of questioning for a moment. Would you characterize your state as a racist one?
no.
I've got a little bit of information in an affidavit that you signed that says there's some racial animus, quote unquote, in your state.
And what can you specify the document you're referring to in the paragraph?
Just one moment. I believe it's an affidavit A.
Paragraph 9.
Paragraph 9 of affidavit A. History of racial animus, particularly in Northville, Farmington, and the southwestern corner of the state.
Yeah,